Hello. It's 6 o'clock, Thursday night, May 28th, 2020, the year of the COVID. Hope everybody's all right. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. Hello, how are you? Um, well, once again, I'm back in my fucking house, in my room, trying to not make a complete ass out of myself. Although, it comes with the territory, if you know me. I do make an ass out of myself regularly. Uh, mm, I don't know what's going on exactly. I do want to tell people before I get started a little bit here is I'm gonna do a little something tonight, a little different. How unusual. I want you to know that if you don't think someone loves you, it's more likely going to be me. So you are loved, I promise you. Unless I don't love you, but that's you probably won't be tuning in anyways. So what else is going? I know it just feels weird. I'm talking to myself. It's very odd. I hope you guys are out there. As you know, I have my arty farty stuff behind me again. Once again, my dad, the little peanut. There's me at 20, high on mushrooms, which is a different story. Um, if anybody can say hi to me, that would be so sweet. Just let me know that I'm here. I'm going to play a little bit of a harmonica. I'm going to read a something that I did not write, and written by a famous Baltimorean, famous guy from Baltimore. That's the first hint I'll give you. I'll give you more hints later, but it's not Frank Zappa. And I love Frank Zappa. I miss Frank Zappa. Uh, mm, First thing I want to start off, I guess, is show you my new painting. I did a painting recently. I haven't done one in 10 years or something. This is my newest painting. There it is. I know it's not visual. Hi, Sarah. That's my newest painting, Sarah. Janie, newest painting. I'm using the effect. That's my new painting. So, again, Thursday, we've survived another day of the COVID. Although I must tell you, I don't know what's scarier, COVID or our president, because that guy scares me daily. Hmm. Yeah, I do want to tell a few things here. I'm going to read. Okay, I'm going to get started in a few minutes. Something I want to read about famous Baltimorean. I hope I don't get too sketchy on the connections here. I am still trying to figure out how to bring guests on my show. I haven't done it yet. I wish I could. The technology is not my friend. God damn it. It is kind of ironic that the things we got to watch out for the most when it comes to getting on our hands is plastic and metals. So clean the fuck out of your computer and on your keys and your mouses and all that shit. Mm. I have noticed a huge influx of internet hookers hitting up on me in the internet because they're desperate and lonely. But you know what? We're all desperate and lonely right now. So I forgive lonely. It's easy because I'm one of them. Okay, I'll do like a harmonica thing or however long I can get it out of me before I get too weird. And then I'll read my short story to you. It's very famous, by the way. I did not write it. I'm hoping I can pull it off. I only read it a couple times a day to myself, and I read it out loud a couple times. But we'll see. We'll have fun, hopefully. Mm. By the way, this is my once a week beer. I decided to have a beer a show. Maintain my alcohol intake slightly. Mm. Although I must say, though, during this COVID crap, I'm glad I'm not doing drugs anymore because this shit would just fuck me up. Okay, let's play a little harmonica. We'll come back. I'll read the story, and I got some more stuff to do. Thank you, Janie, and thank you for Sarah and anybody else who might be tuning in. It's hard to do this, people. I feel weird. Okay. Okay, what key is this? Wait, I want to do that one. Yeah, this is the key of B for beautiful. Hey, thank you, Sid. Happy, well, I'll say Happy New Year. It feels like that for some reason, but Happy COVID Day, everybody. Loving the time of COVID. Loving the time of cholera. I'm going to read something. So I'm going to change the lighting ever so try not to disappear. But if you do, it's up to you. I can't. It feels so strange doing this shit from this place because when I jam on harmonica live, time sort of stands still, right? And it can go faster, right? But with this shit, I just don't know what the fuck. It's really weird, and I feel very uncomfortable. But I'm trying to get there because we got to do this shit for the next 6 months to a year. Because, okay, don't go away. Hey, you almost got a crotch shot, which wouldn't have been, would have been great for Twitter. All right, I'm still working on shit ever so slightly because I want to create a little bit of a mood for this next thing I'm going to read. Bear with me. I think Sid will recognize the author right away. Some people will also, but I promise, after I'm done reading it, I will definitely tell you who the author is. And I hope you enjoy it. And what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, I'll get the title. That way you'll know the author almost right away. Which is kind of unfair, I guess, but what the hell? The Telltale Heart. True. Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous. I've been and am, but why will you say that I am mad? The disease sharpened my senses, not destroyed or dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in heaven and in earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I man? Hearken and observe how healthily I am and calmly I tell you the whole story. That's happening. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived and haunted me day and night. Object was none. Passion was none. I loved the old man. He never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with film over it. Wherever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so, by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man and thus rid of myself of this eye forever. Now, this is the point. You may fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded with caution. With what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man before I killed him. And every night about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh so gently. And then, when I made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed, and no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see me cunningly. I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head as well in the room. I undid the ladder cautiously, oh so cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it with so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And thus I did for 7 long nights, 7 every night just at midnight. But I found the eye was always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work. For it was not the old man that vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he had passed the night. So you see, he would have been very profound an old man, indeed, to suspect that every night I looked upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than unusually cautious in opening the door. A watchman's hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night I had felt the extent of my own powers, of my own sagacity. I would scarcely contain my feelings of triumph to think there I was, opening the door little by little, and he did not even to dream, or even of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps not heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly, as if startled. Now you may think that I drew back, but no, his room was black as pitch, with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed, fastened through fear of robbers. So I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I had my head in, and was about to open the lantern when a thumb slipped upon the tin. Fastened, the old man sprang up in bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle, and in the meantime I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed listening, just as I have done night after night, hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently I heard a groan. I knew it was a groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or of grief, oh no. It was a low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it has welled up from my bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that distracted me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt and pitied him, although I chuckled at heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since that first slight noise. When he turned into bed, his fears had been ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It is only a mouse crossing the floor. It is merely a cricket which has made that single chirp." Yes, he had been trying to confront himself with his suppositions, but he found all in vain. All in vain, because death, in approaching him, had stalked with the black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he never saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I waited a long time, very patiently, to hear him lie down, I resolved to open a very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until a length of a simple dim ray, like a thread of a spider shot from the crevice and fell full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctiveness, all a dull blue, with a hideous veil over its chilled and very marrow in my bones. But I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I had directed the ray as if by instinct precisely upon the damned spot. Now I have come to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of a drum stimulates a soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of his heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker and louder and louder and louder at every instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder. I say louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I told you. I am nervous. So am I. And now at the dead of the night, amid the dreadful silence of the old house, so strange a noise as this excited me into uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still. But the breathing grew louder and louder and louder, and I thought the heart must burst. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern. It leaped into the room. He shrieked once, only once. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so. For so many minutes the heart beat on with muffled sound that, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there for many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precaution I took for the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head, the arms, the leg, then took up 3 planks from the floor of the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. Then replaced the board so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I had been so wary for that a tub had caught it all. Ha ha. When I made an end of these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, as the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart, for now I had to fear. They entered, 3 men, who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor. During the night, suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they, the officers, had debuted to search the premises. I smiled for what I had to fear. I begged the gentleman. The shriek, I said, was my own dream. The old man mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasures, secure, undisturbed enthusiasm of my confidence. I brought chairs in the room. I desired them to rest from their fatigues, while myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed upon my seat, upon the very spot beneath the reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them I was singularly at ease. They sat while they chatted of familiar things, but ere long I felt myself getting pale. I wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears, but still they sat, still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued, and it became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definitiveness, until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt, now I grew very pale, but I talked more fluently, with a heightened voice. The sound increased. What else could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much such a sound that a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath. Yet the officer heard it. Yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I rose trifles in a high key and with violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to the fury by the observation of the men. But the noise steadily increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the boards. But the noise arose all over and continually louder and louder, and still the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God, no, no, they heard. They suspected, they knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, this I think, but anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could hear the hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt I must scream or die, and now again, hark, louder, 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 louder. Villains, I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks here and here. It is the beating of his hideous heart. Okay, that was Edgar Allan Poe. Howdy. I don't know if that came through, hopefully. I don't know, Sid. I hope it's coming back. I have no fucking clue. This technology is driving me fucking crazy. But thank you, Carol, for tuning in. That was Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. I am a little sweaty right now. I'm going to switch the lighting back. Hold on. This is not a crotch shot. Howdy. Hey, Carol, recognize that? Oh! You recognize this guy? Not that guy. This guy. Trippy. So how's everybody doing? Anyone ask me a weird question? I have a couple more things to do. I don't know if that was good, fun. I don't know if you guys even heard it. I don't know how many sketches we had or fucked up we had. This technology thing is just for the birds. So here's my question for the night. What are you more afraid of, COVID or Trump? What are you more afraid of, COVID or Trump? I don't know. It's like a fucking, it's a, you know, it's kind of an even mix. I don't know. What else is going on? I don't know. Okay, I got one more. Okay, I have one more thing. Well, I can play a little more harmonica. I'm gonna do a little something else, and then I'm gonna try to get more technically advanced by next show, and to keep going. I kind of like the new bet. Yeah, you liked it. I read the Telltale Heart. I think next thing I'm gonna read The Raven. The Raven's a little shorter. It's a little more of a poetic thing, but I really like Poe. I think he wrote the Purloined Letter too, like the first official murder mystery. And he lived longer than people thought. The guy that did opium every day. Again, this is my once a week beer. I'm trying to support the beer industry. Thanks, Sid. Do you like Edgar Allan Poe? Okay, different key this time. Okay. Oh, good. So, all right. Thank you, Sarah. That was Poe, people. Edgar Allan. People, can you name me two other people that are famous from Baltimore? Can you name me two other people from the great state of Baltimore that are famous? I'll give you guys time. Two more people from Baltimore that are famous. In the meantime, I'm going to play a little harmonica. And thanks for tuning in, folks. By the way, I'm really impressed with these fucking answers from the Baltimore thing. I was really impressive. I gotta tell you something, man, because first of all, Sid, cool answer on the COVID or Trump thing. Second of all, Boog Powell, holy shit, that's awesome. There's two great jazz piano players from Baltimore also. The guy that wrote "I'm Wild About Harry" and "Harry's Wild About Me," and then whatever the name is, it's a killer fucking old school jazz piano player from Baltimore. And of course, there's the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, one of my favorite old school baseball teams. Yeah, so this is fun. I've done Edgar Allan Poe. I've bullshitted. I've talked about COVID. By the way, how's it going? COVID. How's it going? Corona. Corona COVID. Mm. But I can tell you that my hands have never been this clean. I can tell you that I got to cut down on the porno because otherwise I'll knock myself up and that would just be weird. What else is going on? I don't know. Carol, I know if you're still listening, I don't get too personal and public, but I want to just say if you're still there, I want to show you something to remind us both of something. You might remember where this came from. I know it's a private joke, private observation that people are watching, but that's my folks. And my sister Carol, who's still listening or watching, was there when I got this commissioned at Pat's Diner in Skokie, Illinois. Feel more relaxed. Yeah, sitting back here, drinking a Heineken, 1 beer a week, people. That's my, actually less than a beer a week, but it's been nice having these beers a week. And Nancy Pelosi. Very good, Sid. The Nancy Pelosi one. She was planning to quit the House if Trump didn't become president. Now she's just trying to save the country for us. Thank you, Nancy. Okay. Should I do one more little bit? Give me a hint, somebody. Thing, if you guys want me to. Other than, but if you guys, hey, listen. Feel sorry for the people that aren't yourself, man. This COVID shit is a lot fucking worse for people that don't have library access, don't have fucking internet access, don't have a fucking place to stay. You have to live with 8 or 9 people, junkies. Illinois right now is fucked with COVID, but still people are dying more from fucking opium addiction. And it's like all the troubles that everybody in the world had before COVID showed up is still part of our reality. COVID's just a little, hey, guess what? You think you're fucked now? Guess what? Oh yeah, by the way, Carol, anybody else, listen to Bob Dylan's new music. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Murder Most Foul is a genius piece of music. Not to mention everything I've heard since. Everything. It's funny that some artists can always hit the mark. And Bob's one of them. So thank you for Bob. Well, I've done it for 30 minutes. Okay. I'm going to do one more thing. And then I'm going to say bid us adieu for the evening. I'll see you guys next week. And I will do my best to improve the technology every week. I promise I will. Okay. This is another piece that I did not write. And it's weird because, okay, before I start this, I have to say something. It's hard to know when to let the ego go and let the id take over. And it's hard to know when the id is good and the ego's good, because as an artist, we have an ego. But as a good artist, you have to let the ego go. But at the same time, I'm in my fucking bedroom and it's weird and we're all lonely as fuck. And 90% of the performers I know don't get paid for it. They fucking do their shit. They don't get paid unless they tour, and no one can tour now, and everybody's fucked. And I want you to know that we're all in this. I hate to sound like a fucking CNN cliche, but we are in this together because we have no choice but to be in this together. There is no choice. It's like, get me so mad at these fucking liberals. Okay, let's not put a cleaning facility in a park where homeless people go because we'll bring more homeless people there. Well, God damn it, the more people get the fucking corona will increase the opportunity for you to get it. So stop being a hypocrite, man. Everybody has to get safe here. And the reason why there's more homeless people in Los Angeles than there are in like Wyoming or Nebraska It's because California has some sort of fucking safety net for these people. Most states don't give a shit. We actually we charge income tax in this fucking state. Jesus fuck, man. All right, don't worry about it. Let's not bitch about that. I'm trying to bitch. It's so easy to bitch. Okay. I have a nice fish dinner ahead of me tonight with some artichoke hard salad with garlic and tomato and feta cheese, steamed spinach, corn, and some seafood. Okay, here we go. I'm going to end it with this. I'm nervous as fuck. But as Dave Holland would say, do it. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me long, take me to your heart, for it's there that I belong, and will never part. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfilled. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true. Good night, everybody. Have a lovely, lovely week. Keep your fingers clean in case you want to pick your nose or masturbate. You want to keep hands clean anyway. And David Hasselhoff is from Baltimore. All right, David. And if you got nothing to do the next week, listen to Gilbert Gottfried's podcast because you'll fucking laugh. Thank you so much, bad singing for an old fucker. Yeah. I'll play a harmonica to say goodbye. I've only got 2 keys tonight on me. You can pick it. Which key? Right, left. You're not fast enough, so I'm going to go. Okay. I'm gonna play a little harp, say goodbye. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Stay healthy, stay safe, and don't worry about loving yourself as much as loving others because that's what you are. You're in others. Your heart belongs to other people. So if you reach out, you'll end up reaching back in again. That's how love works. Peace, everybody. Thanks, Sid, Sarah, Carol, Eileen, David, Matriano, whoever else might be listening. Stay beautiful. As the great Oscar Wilde would say, you might as well be yourself because everybody else is already taken. I'm getting you in chunks. That sounds like a weird sexual reference, but I'm going to leave that go for now. Yeah, I got to do more stuff, dude. All right, David, Sarah, everybody, take care. Good night. Stay healthy. See you next week. Peace. I work on technology every week. I try to get better. Be good to yourselves because why not? And enjoy ice cream. And that was the key of C, Sid. Peace, everybody. See you next week. Take care.